Mirren Star Legends tier list. This is Mirren Specialist here. I'm going to be talking about the best tier list to help you on new players to decide who to get. And then I have timestamps down below for the three tiers I'm creating right now. It's the overall, the boss single target, and the multiple or like story mode. Also, before we begin here, I'd like to say a couple of things I take into account. I don't have all of these asterisks, so I couldn't do specific testing by myself. So I went off a lot of other people's opinions. Second of all, most of the asterisks here I'm considering are like just zero dupes, awakening zero, and their skill levels are probably all usually level one, unless it's like 3 or 4 stars, where like the fact that you can actually get dupes easier, takes into account for their rating. And then lastly, I didn't do a lot of the 3 stars since they just weren't worth my time and it would take far too long to create this tier list. So without further ado, let's begin here. I would suggest highly listening to it, but you can just always go to the timestamps and take screenshots and save the images and tier list for later. But anyways, first off, we have Momo. Now Momo is the newest character, and currently I would say she's the best character. She has insane crowd, does hella high DPS, has targets all the enemies, has a crazy support for corroding. So basically, there's no without a doubt that she's S tier. Second, Sarah, personally my favorite character and the best unit before Momo. She's not like a DPS character. She is a straight up damage. Her second skill move is crazy OP. She has recharge, which regenerates you energy, plus does more damage when you use the second skill move. It has AoE and has an attack buff for 2 turns. So I would say one of the best, undoubtedly. Next is Nafi. Nafi's not a 4-star healer. She's pretty good just for damage, so she works pretty well against boss fights and only single targets. I mean, but however, like she kind of falls off in multiple targets, and as a supporter, she doesn't do much healing. So that's why Nafi gets placed into C tier. Moving along, the next one we have on the list is Danny. Now, Danny is kind of biased, but I don't really like how she plays. Many people would say Danny is a good break for AoE. However, like besides AoE, she works really bad against bosses. 18% break isn't that big compared to what others offer. Plus, her passive is not as good because it only applies when entering a realm and only lasts for a single turn. So it's not very good. That's why Danny is going to be going into C. Actually, C would be. I'm gonna say she's going to C tier overall, at least. In AoE, she's higher, but overall, she's C tier. Next up, Yatinia. Yatinia is obviously A tier. Best healer in the game. I would put her into S tier, but she's S tier for healers, but overall she ranks A tier. Just because I'm gonna put like the units you want the first on your counts into S tier. And Yatinia is not really one of them. She is the best healer though, so I would suggest getting her. Without a doubt, she's the best healer. She buffs attacks, defense, red defense, um, more damage, heals, and provides energy. So, Caroline, I'm gonna put A tier overall. Actually, yeah, A tier overall. She's crazy good against boss fights, and especially for 4-star, she's crazy good. She does fall off again in story mode and multiple targets since her AoE is not that good. However, Bound, which has like a 50% chance, Bound is really good. As it just stuns the boss when you don't even have to use break. So that's why she's into A tier. Really good 4-stars. I would suggest highlighting for her. Next is Kuro. One of the best burns I would suggest, and really good for AoE and against boss. Her passive right here, 5.5% chance to inflict 1 burn on target when doing regular damage. This becomes around like 15% when you have 3 Noahs. So it becomes 15% anytime you're taking damage, let alone her burn resistance going down for a second and her actually inflicting burn on the first, which goes really pair well on burn teams. But however, she's just not cutting damage for S tier. Next up, we have Jiro or Jiro Shia. Really good unit. I think her availability is really good. You get a free dupe. So I'm gonna put her in A tier as well. She does AoE for multiple targets, has corrode. Corrode teams are actually good now that Momo's here. And there's not much other reasons as to like why she's in A tier. Another thing, if you get a relic, she gets crazy amount of dupes crazy upgrade to her first skill move where you can inflict 3 stacks of corrode at once, which is crazy. So she's probably gonna be a lot better in boss and single target. She's also DPS. Simcoe overall also going to be A tier. I mean, I get a lot of people would want to put her in S tier, but she's only really good against bosses. Unless you want to kill the uh, story mode enemies and like one by one instead of just using AoE. So that's why she is divinity though, so it counters everything. Another plus. But her only second skill move is really good, and her first skill move can be found like any other thing. Next up, we have Kelsuna. Kelsuna I'm also put in A tier. Her second, only due to her second skill move, that 7.5% Noah HP. The initial and purity blessing, which is the same thing but every single turn. Plus her energy restore, I think it's really good. I would just say like she's as good as Atinia, only that Atinia's like passive does that. But still one of the best healers in the game so far. Next up, Dia. I mean, Dia is also the one of the only divinity 4 stars, so she can be really good to place on the last counters. However, I'll put her in C tier overall. Besides her first skill move, none of the other ones are really good. She does give 40 initial energy. Like if you just use an ancient warrior rune set, you get a lot more. And if you use if you place them on all 3 levels, you get maxed out. So there's no point for this extra energy. Next up, here we go. I'm gonna put in B tier. Because Kringle has the 2 stacks of burn plus like her passive that she also has the same thing as Kuroe, where you inflict burn and if on 3 enemies it gets inflicted on all 3 enemies depending on what you do, so that's why it works really well. Her second target also is crazy against bosses. So that's why she's gonna stay in B tier for now. Next up, Bella. Bella I would say is another B tier. She's really good against bosses. Her first skill move, inflicts burn, and also on complete break you get another burn. Another thing is her passive is really good, where she inflicts burn for 2 times and instead of being 6.5% chance, but it only applies to her. I mean her Nova instead of all Novas. I tested it out, so it just happened that way. I don't know why, but yeah, still a really good pick though. 4 star. Flash hit, arguably one of the worst 5 stars. I want to put her in C, but I think I'll put her in D. I mean, besides her realm of Abyssal Reverie, which just buffs soul damage. Soul damage is like whenever you use the energy and like do an Astral skill move that's called Soul Liberation, it's soul damage. It's just regular damage basically. But like that's what she buffs. But it's still like not that good. I mean, her passive is like 32% chance of 55% of the regular damage to dealt to enemy. It's not that good. You can get the same effect with Bella and have the recoil, which works a lot better. So I'd say she's one of the worst 5 stars. Becca, I mean, she's a good break unit, but she doesn't really have anything special to her. I'll also put Becca into C tier. Nothing special, just a typical break unit that has AoE, has a single target. Next up, Annex. Annex, unfortunately, will also go into D tier, only due to the fact that no other shock unit exists. If you go into shock units, should definitely be ranked higher because there's a lot more like teams she can be on. So making her higher, but she has single target all enemies and has shock. Basically, the shock of Kuroe of shock, if there was one. However, she's not right now. Apostas, I'm gonna put in C tier. On her own, she's like absolute trash. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like on her own, she's just really bad. But however, the fact that she has Serpent's Venom, which buffs Corrode, goes really well with Corrode teams, like I said. And in this game, teams are really just what makes it. Individual masters have zero effect. Next up, Bell. That was pretty like that was literally the worst 5 star. Like no one really plays recoil for a 5 star. She's absolutely buns. Has no damage whatsoever for being a break unit, and only good with Neo if you decide to go down the tank route, which still does no damage. Next up, Churchill. Churchill, I'm gonna put into B tier because she is the one of the only Divinity 4 star healers, and also she is one of the best healers because her second skill move is basically like Yatinia's first skill move. However, she doesn't have any other effect to her besides her second skill move. Her first skill move does decrease effective resistance, but like I said, you get the same effect with like Caroline. It's literally the exact same effect. So that's how she goes into B tier. She's better for bosses, I would say, than AoE. So she might have rank higher there. But yeah. Then we got Narcissus. I have no idea. I forgot her name. Narcissus or some shit. Yeah, she's garbage. There's really not much to explain there. Next up, Aiko. I mean, for a four-star healer, she's not bad. But like as a healer, she's pretty bad. Besides the second skill where she doesn't heal and she like barely gives energy, like 18 or 5 is just really bad. But she is again like one of the only healers we have in the game, and her absolute defense is not bad. So that's why she goes into C tier. Next up, we have Asher. Asher is just like I said, she goes with like Bell, Mia, and like if you want to go down the tank route, I personally do not. I absolutely despise the tank route. So I'm gonna put Asher into F tier yet again because he's just really bad. Then we got Annex, personally one of my favorite 3 stars. She is probably better than 90% of the force, like everyone that maybe except like Churchill for a 4-star healer. First heal moves restores energy, inflicts reduced healing. Really good for Zealous, that boss that heals a lot. So it has like 40% reduced healing. It has 40% chance to inflict it. Your second skill move is basically the same thing as Churchill, only like if your target's HP is below 80, which most of the time when you heal it's gonna be below 80, it restores 6%. Lastly, the second last passive is heals for plus 4% after taking regular damage up to 5 stacks and restore 10 energy when no one's restoring HP. If you play this with a domain, you basically get 10 extra HP every single Nova you have, so it's 30 extra HP per turn, which is really good. So I would put her A tier. Actually, yeah, A tier. I'll say she's better because she's a 3-star, and for a 3-star, that's real good. So I'll continue putting her there. Kind of like a hidden gem. Speaking about hidden gem, we have another hidden gem right here. So this is Dorothy here, another 3-star. I'll say she's actually better than Krogu for a 3-star for burn because as you can see, her first inflicts burn, and when you have burn, you have 17% damage bonus, which is crazy. When it's affected by burn. Another thing, her second skill move when her attack is just straight up buff 30% 6 attack, and each burn in battle you burn more. So if you have 5 burns, you do 14 more percent. Plus, if you have 3 or more, then you do another 6%. So it's like a 20% attack buff. At this point, it's buffing as much as Churchill. And then lastly, just the straight up passive attack 5%, and the burn chance is 10%. This is huge against fighting against bosses. So that's why again I'm gonna put Dorothy. uh, Actually, I put her at B tier because she's not good at the PO, AOE, and multiple targets or story mode, which is mainly like AOE. All right, next up, another 3-star. I mean, this is personal opinion, but she's buns. Like her first attack is all right, second attack's all right, but what takes the gem here is that her third passive, and when taking lethal damage, basically when your Noah dies, you just revive 100%, and you're dead. You do more damage, 20% more damage, lasting for 2 turns. Now this is the only reason I beat like 533, which is the Zealous boss fights. I just basically res my data DPS Nova so the burn could continue going, which just led me to win. That's why she's in B tier. I'm not gonna rank her that high, but it's like a troll character. You can play pretty well, especially in PvP. If it ever gets released, it will be great. Another 3 stars. I mean, I didn't include many 3 stars because they're just really bad, but I decided to include her because like she's a pretty good DPS unit for like especially for 3-star. She's also another one of the only corrode units again to inflict to put on your team. 2 stacks of corrode, but it's a really low chance. Plus she has soul damage. Like I said, is when you do get the soul thing when you use the energy. That's soul damage. And also deal like 12% more damage. Doesn't She's not really like actual DPS. She's just like kind of support slash corrode. Dodge rate 5%, kind of useless. Rating is better. And that's why I'm putting her also D tier. Next up, Cecilia. Against like popular opinion, Cecilia is not that good. She's also going to C tier. She's only good against AoE. She has like barely any damage. Her soul damage bonus is alright. For 1 turn, it's basically just a 10% damage boost. Next, her other passive is really bad too. For a 5-star, she's pretty bad. Moving along, Absa. Absa is one of the best break units, so that's why I'm gonna put her in A tier. Because like her single target break, which is really important for bosses, is really great. But I mean, I did testing on her, and she didn't do as good in AoE as I thought. So I'm actually putting her in D tier. Um, yeah, because her single target, like I said, is really good, but she doesn't have as much of AoE. I mean, her second does do minus 11 break resistance for 2 turns, and then minus 6.7% defense on all enemies. I mean, it only lasts for 3 actions, so she's for 5 stars. She's mid, so I would say it's like B, but she's not like as bad as Cecilia or like Flashy. Moving on, Moo. I'll put her in S tier because like her use in any team is really good. Whether it be Burn or Crow, she's arguably like actually she's undoubtedly like one of the best break. I mean, Ikaru's is up there too, but I would put her higher because of Harvest. You can stack Harvest, and Harvest just means you're doing more break damage. So whenever like an example you're doing Abyssal Realm, you just do more and more and more and more shield damage because it's really hard to actually break the shield. Plus, she has single target and she has AoE. Plus, she has Harvest. Plus, she has Break as a passive. So every action you get one Harvest, it lasts forever. So it's just crazy good. Next up, we have Icarus, like I was saying. Icarus is also like a top tier brawler. I mean, top tier master. Basically, she gives shield, which is unique. No really other Noah gives shield for DPS. I mean, a break unit. Her single target is really good. Taunt is not the thing I was looking for though, because basically you don't want your damaged Noah to get taunted. You want either a Mia if you have it, or maybe you're like a healer Noah Hururu to get taunted. So I would say that's like what kind of puts it off. But she does convert all her damage into shield for AoE. But for AoE, you're mainly focused on dealing damage for story mode because you want to get the 3 stars. That's why she doesn't quite make the S tier. So I would put her in A tier. Lastly, we have Ray Ray. Ray Ray, I mean, is another break unit. I mean, it's not a break unit. It's like DPS slash support unit. Dodger is decent. The energy restore is decent, but dodging is not like it rarely ever happens. So she's just more of a bust on a single target. So I'm gonna put her in like she's better than Sicilian like all these here. So I'm gonna put her in like B tier only because of the dodge. Princeton, unfortunately, like I could not get the image for up here. But Princeton just restores energy, and for 4-star unit, she's also pretty good. So I'm gonna put her in B tier. This is the play list for overall list. There's gonna be lots of changes on the further list, and I won't go into as much detail. I'll just keep ranking it. So next up, we have the boss and single target list. Again, Momo's going to S because of her corrode. Sarah's going to S because of her single target that relies on like no other corrode, plus her recharge and AoE buff. Matthew's gonna go into A tier because again, like I said, single target. She buffs a lot more attacks. Then we have Danny. Danny is gonna go into Danny's gonna go into, if I find her, D tier. Like he's only good against AoE and single target. She just does not keep up. Yetinia is gonna be going into S tier this time because against bosses. Actually, yeah, S tier this time because her 30 healing energy plus her continuous like buffs and energy restore plus attack always helps. Next up, Caroline, like I said, the bound is far too OP for her to put it into A tier, so that's why she goes into S tier again. Caroline is gonna be B tier because like almost of his attacks are focused on AoE, and then he just by existing, he does a lot of things, but he doesn't do as much as like Kurgo, which might be the next one. Yep, Jira. I'll put it into I'll put her into A tier again, only because like she's not as I'll put her to B tier, but her relic 3 stacks of corrode is a lot of corrode, so I'm gonna just put her into A tier. But like I said, it's hard to get the relics. If you got 3 stacks of corrode, I would actually put her into S tier, but it's hard to get 5 dupes for the relic. Next up, Simcoe. Simcoe's gonna be into S tier. Her second Blazing Fire is just far too OP, more buff damage, a more chance to inflict burn, just continuous more burn damage, and her single target is good. Kelsuna is gonna be going into A tier. Her Bashing just cast it once, just let it chill, and that you have all the healing you probably ever need. Dia, probably B tier. I mean, her attack is single target, it does a lot of break, but I would say it is like much better break, but for 4-star, it's not bad. Kurgo is gonna go into A tier because she does 2 burns plus another burn plus does more damage for the burn. So that's why she has A tier. I'll put her into S tier, but like S tier just like kind of stacked right now. And I don't want too many S tiers. Bella is also going to A tier because the Burn teams just do really well against bosses and Burn and Kuro teams, and she's part of it. So that's why she's gonna go into A tier. Flash it. I mean, her single target actually does help the bosses a little bit more, so she's upgraded to C tier. Becca. I mean, yeah, where did I put her? I think I'll put her D tier, right? No, C tier. She can stay in C tier. Not much change there. And yeah, not really. Yeah, she can stay in D tier. Pasta's got her upgrader this time because if you're playing the Kuro Bear team or just a Kuro team, she does help her Serpent Slam and just buff the Kuro damage and Kuro resistance. So that's why she goes into B tier and she's upgrading now. They have more Kuro units. Well, yeah, she does not have any change there. Churchill, I mean, I guess I'll put her like B tier, just stay where she was, because like there's no special things against bosses. Yeah, these random units can just stay where they were. Like, yeah, stay where you were, C tier. Sure, yeah. Especially for bosses, you don't want taunt, because then your always just get one tapped. So you want to like have the bosses attack every node like equally. Uh, sure, yeah. She goes into A tier, 3-star healer, like too good for a 3-star healer. Do not focus only on 5 stars. 3-star healers have potential. Dorothy, yeah, I'm putting A tier as well. The burn is just really nice for boss fights. Penelope, the troll can go into C tier. I mean, it can help. It can help. If you have a unit extra, the max restore can help. Who's this? Sia? Yeah. Sia. What did she do? Oh, yeah, she does corrode. I mean, it's alright. C tier. It goes well with corrode teams, but I don't think she has anything else. Cecilia, she's gonna go into D tier. Her only use is actually just in like against AoE targets and story mode, and then the boss fight. I don't see much use for her there. Amsa, she does a little bit better against AoE, I would say, than single target, even though her skill moves single target. It's just the burn and defense reduction might help, but that plays more for unit. That plays more for like a support unit or like an energy unit than like actual the break unit like she's supposed to be. So actually, I'm gonna put it in C tier. Then we have. Oh, I didn't move Asher. Yeah, Asher's here. I moved Ray. Hold up, my bad. Moo's also gonna be in. Moo's continuing to be in S tier. She just does way too much harvest and resilience damage against bosses, especially like Abyssal Realm and things. Hikaru this time, I'm gonna put her into A tier, because like I said, the taunt, it's not like something you want. I would say because you don't want those who target a boss, because they just die typically, especially like against a Momo boss or like Abyssal Realm. They actually do like 20,000 damage per hit, which is too much. Next up, Ray, yeah, just stay where she was. I mean, will she be? B or C? Yeah, B. She will just stay where it was. Princeton just stay where it was. She's like equally good. Lastly, we have the multiple game modes and story. Momo remains S. Danny, she gets a little bit of buff. Was it Danny? No, Sarah. Yeah. Sarah, also S tier. This is like those two, just the best units. You probably want to target them first before anything else. Then, yeah, Nafi, she does a lot worse against AoE than single target. So I'll put her in C tier. However, the second and first skill move and passive really helps a lot. So just keep her there. Danny, she does a little bit better. So I'm gonna put her into B tier. That's not Danny. Yeah, I'm putting it to B tier because their Sovereign Drake is 18% break for everyone. Yeah, break helps in stunning. Or like multiple targets, I guess. It's in A tier. You don't need as much survivability for like AoE targets. I mean AoE damage, like multiple targets and like story mode, because you just try to get the 3-star for story mode and you want to deal damage as quick as possible. Caroline also goes into A tier. Her first, if you put her into B tier, her AoE is good. It does inflict resistance down, but a lot of other characters do that. I know a couple bunch of 3 stars, and her first is not as useful. Hooray! The GOAT also stays in A tier, one of the best 4 stars. Both attacks are AoE, both inflict burn and burn resistance like decrease, so that's why she just stays there. Yep, this is obviously S tier, both attacks AoE and do a lot of damage. Sumiko, I will put her into E tier. She has literally no AoE whatsoever, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Kelsuna remains A tier. Her, as long as you just cast her on once, her use is gone, but just the realm is good enough. Yeah, falls to C tier as well. Do you hear the no AoE moves at all? Skipped one? Yeah. Kurgo also falls to C because she has no AoE moves. Bella is probably B tier. Her second is pretty good. Has chance to inflict burn and inflicts break resistance like guaranteed. Plus her passage is really good. I would say Bella is probably the best 4-star burn unit. Kuro is up there. Kurgo is better for boss stars. I mean boss. Yeah, boss. I mean then we have Flash Hit. Yeah, Flash is just trash. I mean she's not trash, but she's almost trash. Becca. Mm, yeah, probably just C2. I'm not gonna think too much. Nick, yeah, D tier. Apostle, C tier, pretty obvious. Well, left here, doesn't do anything. Churchill just remains the same, no special. Like multiple effects. I still don't know who this is. Narcissus. I did testing on her, but she didn't stick out. So yeah, D tier. Aika does actually suck in AoE because her healing only applies to single ally, which I would not say is good. Plus her attack is single. I don't even know why a supporter needs an attack. Yeah, she goes into D tier actually. Asher, I mean, I could see some use for the recoil if you pair her up with Bella and Mia, but I don't see why anyone even actually would do that. It's not worth investing in it. Yep. And Annex remains A tier. Too good of a healer for 3-star, man. Just focus her, and she was as good as these two almost. She's better for Dorothy. She's better, she's probably C. Yeah, probably C tier. She's only better at single target inflicting burn. But yeah, F tier. There's no really use to her anymore. Sia again, I'll put her F. I'll put her D tier. It's both just single targets. Cecilia, I'll put her B tier because she actually does do decent against AoE enemies and has a lot more. Her first skill move does it, and her second skill move also inflicts it on everyone. So it's more for DPS. Instead of a DPS, she's more for support. So probably C tier. Actually, put her B tier. Second skill move break -12 and initial defense on everything. It's pretty good. We'll keep it there. Yeah, Moon goes S tier. She has the break for every single one. Every PoE, one of the best AoE break units. Plus, she has Harvest, so she remains S tier. You could probably say S tier on this as well, because Shield might help you. Actually, I'm for an A tier because she doesn't have as good of a AoE as Moo. So if you go back here, we can see Moo does 143. 72% resilience damage, and then actually they did the same. Oh, hold up, I thought it. Oh, I was looking at the wrong move. Oh, actually, Iku's and Move yeah, they might both just be S tier. They're both really good AoE breaks and single target breaks. But I would say Moo does come out on top. Ray, yeah, I don't even know who this is. I don't even have her. So I'm just putting B tier. Princeton, both attacks a single target. They give energy though, so C tier. Anyways, these are the final 3 tier lists. I hope this helped you a lot. If you have any suggestions, just leave them down in the comments below. Also, comment down below if I should make a beginner tutorial guide as my next video. like having the best teams guide with the rune sets and everything? Or do I do another video covering like the major boss fights, like 228, 533, and like the event boss fight? Leave your comments down below, and whoever, like whichever is the most frequent, I'll probably do that video next. Anyways, I hope you had a good time, and this is the tier list for currently at least. Thank you, and have a good day.